Yo, today, guys, on Vibes from the Six, we got a classic for you guys. We got the Manchester Derby. We got the North London Derby. We already know what happened, ladies and gentlemen. The Gunners slapped up Tottenham, and obviously, Manchester City slapped up Manchester United. We're also going to talk about Liverpool's shock result versus Brighton. We're going to talk about Chelsea's, should I say, lucky win versus Crystal Palace. We're going to get into all of that. I got a wonderful panel for you guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you've gotten this far in the video already and you're not hitting that like button, subscribe button, you got to check yourself out. But let's get the show started. Bang. Yes, people. What's going on? It's the Kitty G on EGTV. And yes, Alan has just joined just in time. Tottenham fans in the building. Tottenham fans, come outside. Let's do it. Anyways, today was a good week. Today was a good day for me. It was a great weekend. I'm not going to lie. I got Alan here representing Tottenham. We got Rum here representing Liverpool. We got Dabs here with the crown over his head representing Manchester City. And we got a debutant, Abs. Busquets. What's going on, bro? Manchester United fans.
Talk to me, brother, man. Talk to me, brother, man. United. It's a tough time being a United fan right now, man. It was easy. Listen, it's probably the worst person to be right now at this point in time after that loss. But hey.
It's not. Listen, the good thing is I've never met you before.
Yeah.
And therefore, you have no reason to hold any smoke.
I'm lucky.
I'm going to be real, bro. I'm going to be real. These United fans have got overconfident. They can hold smoke.
Yeah.
United fans that I've never met before, you're lucky we never met before. I don't know what you said before it. So, Egal, don't smile, listen, bro, because this was a reminder for your team, bro. Do you really want this, brother?
It was a statement you're saying to the
it was. Do you really want this,
it
bro?
Definitely was. It was definitely
Arteta's Arsenal really want this, bro?
Listen, I love the fact that you're calling out Arsenal. It just shows
bro. You don't want this. I can answer you. You don't want this. What you saw today was October City, not March City.
Damn.
Do you really want this, bro?
So are you telling me that
they haven't even come out.
Coming out with fire already. Yo, listen, we didn't even finish the intro. Mojo's going to be joining us very soon. Shout out to everyone. Let me know what was the best game of the weekend so far, guys. Obviously, we have to begin with the Manchester Derby because that was a
nine goal thriller, right?
Yeah. 9 goals, can't start nowhere else. 6-3, Manchester City, Erling Haaland once again. By the way, I think he's already surpassed the 13 goals that a certain somebody was saying.
Got 14 league goals already.
That's my point. He's already surpassed
3 hat tricks.
Remember the certain video made by certain somebody who said 13 league goals? I'm sorry, my guy. He already surpassed it.
He's proven me wrong.
He's proven everybody.
What did you think about it?
He's proven me wrong. No, because I never want it. I grew up watching United get carried away with players that have like a good start. So I never want to get carried away with nothing. I'd rather, like I've said all summer, I wanted the shithousery from Haaland talking about how he's a City fan, but then I was looking forward to seeing Alvarez. That means I have no expectations of Haaland. So every time he scores, it's beautiful for me because he's proving me wrong. He's proving the whole league wrong. The guy is an absolute fucking monster. Best thing from today, his assist. Because that is proving the Premier League wrong.
That was KDBS. You would think, if you've never watched football and you've heard how KDB plays, you'd think that's him. I want to give someone else a mention, though. Rightly so, Foden, Haaland, they're going to get the headlines. They both got 2 hat-tricks each. But Jack Grealish, listen, I understand because of the price tag, you're always going to be under scrutiny. But this guy, because he hasn't got a goal or assist, no one's going to speak about him. But this isn't just his first performance. He's actually been performing for City, but no one will speak about. For me, he was my standout today. Of course, the other two are going to naturally get that headlines, but I think he was good yet again. No one will speak about it. It will go completely.
Do you see how pissed off he looked when he came off?
Exactly. He didn't want to come off.
Do you know what it was? Because he knows what this media is like. He knows what the fans are like. And I went on Football Terrace for once because I was so gassed today, yeah. And Terry was talking good about Grealish. And I said, thank you for doing that. But please, yeah, remember this in a couple of weeks and don't talk about GA. Because today we witnessed City scored 6 goals. Haaland did not get a goal or assist, but was very important to the team.
Grealish, yeah.
Sorry, Grealish.
But there was a difference.
Grealish.
There was a difference in Grealish that I saw that I haven't watched the
bro.
performances, and I agree with what Rams was saying about his performances and without the goals and assists. But there was something different about this one.
Bro, it's central.
I don't know
what
if there's a chip on his shoulder, but from the first moment, the reason that Michael Oliver gave the yellow card to Dallo, rightly or wrongly, we can have a conversation about that, was because of how direct he was.
You know what it is, bro?
On his man every time.
Abs, you know what it is, yeah? I've worked this. If you go back and watch the Wolves game, yeah, we played him centrally, and he was very similar to today. He was making these. He was doing Grealish runs for some reason when he plays out wide, and it must be to do with what Pep tells him to do. When he plays out wide, he doesn't make the Grealish runs. For some reason, now when he's playing centrally and a little bit deeper, he's doing the Grealish runs again, and it's working. So whatever it is, I mean, but yeah, people just need to remember that players can sometimes impact games without getting GA. And
Let me just bring Mojo and Alan into this. How you guys doing today, guys? Big up to you guys joining us also. Dabs, Saliba will pocket Haaland. By the way, Partey owned. I don't know what that means, but I don't think we need to get into this.
No, Egal, I do owe you an apology because on Friday on Terrace, we spoke on Partey, and then his response to me, he must watch Terrace, was to fucking bang a goal early doors, yeah?
No, all of you guys, one person.
Oh, I called him Thomas, bro. I called him Thomas. It was me.
Said,
it was me. It was all me, bro. It's me. Yeah, it's me. It was me.
And then Patrick said, I'm not scared of Partey. And the worst thing of all, Liverpool fan Tom Little said, ooh, Partey. I'm telling you.
I saw that.
I mean, and he was good. He was, you know what he was? He was Partey when Partey plays. He really was.
When you're crying about midfielders, but you're belittling Partey, it doesn't make sense.
And I'll also say the other thing about Saliba, it was the first time that I've watched Arsenal. In fact, no, I did watch the Palace game as well, but yeah, he was fucking brilliant. How comfortable he is on the ball moving forward. Honestly, yeah, best based on this season only, and I don't really read that much into it, but he is the best. Worldwide, probably the best centre back.
We're gonna get into that, bro. Not yet. It's not the Arsenal time yet. But let's talk about this centre back. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't give you guys enough ratings for your signings because I feel like City just always get signings done. But 15 million pounds for Akanji, for him to slot in just the way that he has.
He looks different class.
It's a combination of his class, good recruitment, and just the ability to embed players in so easily without having to worry. But yeah,
like he's played in the Premier League for years. He looked comfortable. I think we made it quite easy for him. I'll be honest. I don't think we put much pressure on him. But the passes he was picking and the spaces that he was covering, so he looked assured. He looked like he's played before.
I said this yesterday when no, it might have even been earlier when I was seeing Ake will play a lot this season because he's a left-footed left centre back with pace, right? So he will play because they are his qualities. Very simple. They're qualities that other City players don't have. With Akanji, he's not actually left-footed, but he can play competently on the left and right. He's quite quick. He's very comfortable on the ball. I think today, because I thought Diaz might have been injured. Apparently he wasn't injured. It kind of shows you that we know Ake can't lead a line, and it's very important. Like Stones can't lead a line. Back in the day, Otamendi couldn't lead a line. You need a player that leads the line. It's almost like Pep is starting to think, could Akanji actually lead this line at times? The way he's gone with him. I mean, United fans have already said second half because they scored 3. Let's be clear. We took our foot off the brake. If you want to celebrate those 3 goals, no problem whatsoever. Yeah, that's not 100%, reflection.
100%.
And the biggest thing is, sorry, not at you, bro. Like I said, but against United fans, all I heard going into this game is how fucking good your defense is. So I couldn't give a shit. You scored 3. Your defense with the butcher, conceded 6. So is what it is.
I think the game was probably won and lost in midfield. I think regarding back to what you guys said about players who might not get GA but have influence on the game. A lot of City fans who I know on Twitter were, when they heard Rodri was out, were in a fanfare about it. But I've seen Gundogan at Old Trafford play at defensive midfield and dictate the game. I saw that before. So having seen that before, I wasn't crazy enough to say Rodri's out, I'm licking my lips. Not really.
Look,
I've seen Gundogan control the game before. Bernardo Silva,
it's a team we're playing. There's certain teams where you do need a Rodri. United is not the team you need.
Realistically, it's Champions League and Liverpool. Really, I think City beat.
This guy knows ball, bro. Good recruiting.
Realistically, 18 teams and Champions League.
I got top tier right here, bro.
Yeah, he knows ball.
That's the only really teams that they need Rodri to be, because he smells the danger and he snuffs it all out in front of the back four. Gundogan quite comfortably could play 6 against most other teams in the league and be comfortable. And he showed that today. Bernardo Silva, another one. Someone who can play right wing and look like I can beat a man and dribble into space and be dangerous and create chaos in and around the box. At the same time, in the second half, I can take the piss and play number 6.
Yeah.
This comment man said Eagles got hella Somali United on deck.
They're all from London as well, bro. They're all from London.
Do you know what's even more? Do you know what's even more worrying about City? Yeah, because this month every team will have to. Everyone can brand it Pep Roulette, but every team in Europe, I think, has 13 games and 43 days, something crazy like that. What's so mad about City as well? Some people might be like, oh, once KDB's back, they could be a bit weaker. I don't know if you agree that, but for me, City's not best, but City's midfield is most fluent when their best midfielders not playing. I've seen City have a very fluent midfield even without KDB. So when some fans are saying when he gets rested, how will they do? They'll be completely fine.
They will be fine, but I think they're not as dangerous without Kevin. I think they're not as dangerous.
I've seen them fluent without him. And Bernardo Silva can express himself. Bernardo Silva expressed himself.
Let Ron finish.
Yeah, that was all.
The main thing is, right, everyone thinks about Man City and everyone likes to compare their project to Man City. Like they've basically become the standard in this Premier League that we're all in. And the one thing that people don't tend to talk about, like it's great. We talk about individual players. It's great. We talk about their manager. I think what we need to talk about is collectively this squad. Players can be taken in and out of that squad and the quality rarely ever drops. If anything, it just offers another dynamic way for Man City to play. The other thing that I'm going to say is Jack Grealish, I think, plays best when he's allowed to actually have more touches on the ball. The fact of the matter is, when you put him out wide, City's wide players do get used, but nowhere near as much as the ones in the middle. And suddenly, when you have a player that has the rhythm for the game, he can start to dictate, he can start to express, he can start to do what we're seeing him do now. People can call him a flop, people can call him whatever they wanted from before, but it was only going to be a matter of time, and we all knew we were going to eat our words, because at the end of the day, how many players really fail at Man City, guys? Let's be frankly honest, isn't it? Like, we just have to call it what it is.
Delph didn't. To be frank, Delph shone at City.
Yeah,
no, but I'm just saying in general, like
no, you're spot on, bro. It's a system.
Because people hear Pep's interviews and all these things about after the game. It's his players, it's the quality of play, and they think, oh, he's just being humble. Pep is just being humble again. Yes, by far and away, he's created one of the best systems the Premier League has seen. That's not a doubt, and he deserves his flowers for that because he did that at Bayern and he did it at Barcelona before that. The quality of these players is something out of this world, and the squad doesn't have to be big. That's the scariest part of the City team. And that's something that I know we're going to talk about Arsenal later.
Look at their centre backs, bro.
You guys, if you don't have squad depth, you guys are thinking about, I need another body here, need another bit. Last season, they might have had 15 man ready and available consistently week in, week out. That's not a huge squad, and they were able to win the Premier League, go far in the Champions League as well. It's crazy the quality of players that they
This
have.
guy
It's
knows
not
what he's
normal.
talking about.
It's not.
I've been saying this about our squad size for the longest. So
I
thank you
hate
for
the
saying
fact that we have to compliment them, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I
You
am
think
not
I like
enjoying
it?
this.
You think I like it?
think
I
I
don't
like
enjoy this one part, bruv.
But
One
you know
part
what?
of it. I
You know
don't
what?
enjoy
I'll
it.
be 100.
let's-
All
Sorry,
of our
let's
clubs
let-
should hold their
let's
heads
let
in
Alan-
shame
let's
because
let
we are
Alan
not
We
jump
should
in.
look close. It's the
But
most
go on,
frustrating,
Alan.
bro.
Yeah, let Alan
One second,
talk.
guys.
Go on.
Let
What are you
Alan
going to say
jump
on
in.
my club, Alan? Come on.
He's got a cold. We don't want him to have to yell. Alan, how you feeling?
No, I'm not too bad. Been feeling like shit for the last couple of days, but I'm still
You
here.
know what?
Expecting something later on to come from you, Egal. It's all right. I've got time for you. I'm not waiting.
He practically said, "I'm saving my energy."
Yeah, it's fine. I'm waiting for you. But no, let me talk about Man City. I'll be honest. The game was on half an hour. Didn't get out of second gear. It was literally just so easy. Ten Hag wanting just to continue playing his way. You know, it was criminal. Should have changed the way, especially when you come against this City, because you're not going to outperform them. Yeah, at least you got 3 goals. That's something for Man United. Congratulations, but you held 6. Haaland's just an anomaly. He's a freak. Foden, good to see him get his first hat trick and all that. KDB doing KDB stuff. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say it early on and all that. This team continue playing this way and all that. They'll go invincible this season, and they'll succeed. They'll exceed what you've done. I just don't see teams getting near them at this moment in time. Don't see them getting near it. Anyone getting near Man City at all.
And you know what? Once they lose a game, I'll be celebrating. Don't worry.
Egal.
I just don't see it. I don't see it.
Can your team do it, Egal?
This is
What?
well. This
Oh,
is the
cheap.
thing.
You know
Egal.
what?
Egal.
Listen,
Egal.
we
Before
don't
you
have to
answer
play
that,
them. You don't have to,
Egal.
we don't have to
Egal.
play them
Before
until after the World
yeah,
Cup.
you're fucked. You're fucked that both games have been moved to the business end of the season. That's when you don't want to play City. But
Exactly.
do you know what it was today? Yeah, this was important to us lot because we haven't been good this season. Although Haaland's been doing what he's been doing because of our changes at the back and whatever, and the fact we are changing how we play, we haven't been great this season. And this thing happened over the last 10 days where maybe it was a break, but this break allowed Man United fans to talk like they were better than they were. It allowed them to focus solely on 2 games, the Liverpool game and the Arsenal game.
Yeah.
They actually played 2 games after the Arsenal game that no one wants to talk about, right? They want to focus on the fact that Brighton and Brentford,
Leeds.
Brighton and Brentford, that Martinez was partnering Maguire. But at the same time, they don't want to say that for the whole season, Diaz has been having to partner multiple different defenders, yeah? And they want to put on basically 90 minutes against Liverpool and 30 minutes against Arsenal. That's where they've performed. Apart from that, no one can tell me they've performed amazingly against anyone else, yeah? But they've used this 120 minutes to base their whole season's form on. And at the same time, discredit the last, I'm going to say 2 seasons of City, but we could actually probably say the last 5 seasons of City. All of that out the window and based on 120 minutes of Manchester United looking good and say best defense, this and that, this and that. And we haven't been good this season, but what we had to do today was remind them who the fuck they are and who we are, right? And what I mean, and not just them, but other teams as well, and say, all right, you lot are focusing on Haaland. Let's be clear. Last season, we scored the most goals in every single European league without Haaland. You want to focus on Haaland, no problem. That's great for us because it gives the other players space. But this is Pep and a City team that do title races for fun, right? So everyone getting carried away in September, but then saying, oh, have a conversation in October, November, December. No, have a conversation with me in May, right? In May. All this shit is irrelevant, right? We're not a team that does this occasionally. We do it every season. This is Pep Guardiola and a fucking dominant force. So I'm glad we did it. I do also think we did it for the rest of the Premier League because they've been talking about all of your clubs as well. They've been talking about all your clubs, bro.
As the team that gave Manchester United a big voice, we just have this issue where when we come to Old Trafford, we tend to lose. But also, we didn't have Thomas Partey. I felt like we played well, and the real test for Manchester United was after not playing these last 2 weeks in the Premier League and also having an international break, coming to Manchester United, Manchester City away was always going to be a tough game for them. The way they
But
had
I
To be
didn't
it,
honest,
see
that would have
Look,
been
the problem is,
with
the
and
fan
without
base
that
didn't see
break,
it as
the
that.
toughest team to play is City, man.
But bro,
the toughest team
this
to
is
play
the
in the
thing.
league was
I
City.
agree with you.
And
Egal.
I
I've
just
been
want to
saying all
get
week.
one comment. I just want to get one comment. We will speak about Bruno Lage's sacking once we get to
Yeah,
Wolves.
that's mad as
And,
well, by the way.
and also, we have 81 people in the chat. Hit that like button right now. You only have 41 likes. You can do much better than that. It's absolutely free. But yeah.
Sorry, let me just say.
You just mute whenever you're not speaking.
What I was going to say is as well is that like there's been this disrespect on City, and this talk up of United, right? People just need to remember it is September. We don't start the season well. We've had things going on. The whole league's been mad, but just people remember we've got where we are by fucking being this team we are. It's that simple. It's that simple. And sorry, something needs to be addressed. Martinez, because all week I did a show with Cass earlier, and he kept trying to circle around this conversation. And my whole thing is, all week, if United fans want to say it's a derby, so we don't know what's going to happen, I was going 100% agree. And if you want to base it, you might win on that. I 100% agree. Yeah, I will wake up Sunday worried. Yeah, I saw the team sheet earlier. We got even more worried, to be frank. But this whole agenda that they have the best defense in the league and that Martinez was going to pocket Haaland, and it's easy to do if you think about it, but no one else has done it yet. But now when I'm saying where's Martinez, there's, oh, no, but I think, no, fuck all that. Where the fuck was Martinez? You told me this guy was going to pocket Haaland. He got hat-trick and 2 assists. Where the fuck was the butcher? Bro, I'm hungry. I'm starving. I need my roast dinner. Where's my butcher? Honestly, like,
yeah,
Well,
I think from the United fans,
this is Dabs being nice. He could have
for sure.
said that hard.
And to be fair, if you bought like the United fans who were silly enough to say in September, after seeing this team concede 6 to Brighton and Brentford, and then look at a good 4-game streak and then decide to say something as preposterous as this is the best defense in the league, they deserve all of this, every single bit of it. Like, if you literally can think logically and say that, is crazy to me. I think if I saw what happened today, the whole pocketing Haaland thing, it's as Dab said earlier, if you're focusing on one player at Man City, you've gone very, very wrong. Because before you even get to the defense, we lost the midfield battle. Before you even get to the midfield battle, none of our strikers our 4 players could even hold the ball up, let alone do anything else. So there are a lot of issues of Manchester United in that game only.
Positive, though, I'll give you, as you're talking sense, I will give you a positive, because I'd said it in the summer. I think Martial under Ten Hag is going to succeed. And the fact he came in and scored 2.
Oh, yeah, I've been in about Martial.
I do think, and I've been going against him.
But when he comes on, you see the difference, don't you? The ball sticks.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
He's a baller. He knows how to play football.
Can we talk about Casemiro? What's going on with Casemiro, bro? I'm not
about
gonna lie. I held so much people were on my case because in the lead up to the Manchester United game, I had a dossier on Casemiro. I literally had a dossier on Casemiro. I was telling everyone about Casemiro not being this guy that they expect him to be, and then he didn't even start that game.
Well, bro, and do you know, Egal, and do you know what Cass said earlier? Oh yeah, but you can't expect him to join the team and play. Okay, cool. So why are you talking about Akanji? Akanji just joined the team and he's playing centre back, bro.
Forget about that.
Leading the line.
The second best DM in the league. He should be able to walk right into this Man United team over
Look. In terms of his quality, that's one thing, right? But like the fact that Ronaldo and Casemiro are both just sat on the bench, whilst Scott McTominay, who apparently was having good games, just gets to play on. Like, I'm sorry today.
I think you play McTominay on form as bad as he was, though. I don't think the starting was a mistake. I think a lot of questions, uncomfortable conversations might have to be had about Casemiro. I saw good moments on his first cameo against Leicester. Some moments I looked like he transitioned the ball well. Then I saw some very alarming things in the Europa League cameo that he had. It looks like if we're talking about passing the ball with his feet and progressing the ball the way that we want the top number 6s in the world, I don't think we've solved that issue,
Bro,
honestly.
but the one thing I'd
Bro,
say
you
is
had no
that
midfielders today. There was no one protecting this back line.
And when-
Kevin De Bruyne was picking up passes literally in just outside of your penalty area, bro.
Ericsson was told to do a job on Kevin De Bruyne. How do you
that's
think
not
that's
fair
gonna
though.
work?
That
What
shouldn't be
job,
Ericsson's
that's
bro?
gonna
job,
work
man.
out?
That's not his
Why are we
role.
asking
Ericsson ain't
Eriksen
never
to
done
do
that
this?
job. Ericsson ain't never done that job.
And
The
it
thing
goes
is,
back to
yeah,
something me and Egal was saying earlier. It's about there are certain teams you cannot play this midfield with. You cannot do it. If you do it, it's tactical suicide. And you know who's top of that list? The team that we played today. That's the one team that, because I was saying to Egal earlier as well today, it felt like whenever we looked like we covered out wide, there was an issue in the midfield. Whenever we try and keep it tight in the midfield, we're getting hit out wide.
Yeah.
It's
But you
it's
know
like
what it
playing a
is?
different kind of beast, bro.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, the
the
thing
same
is,
animal.
and this is where let's take away and let's not talk about individual players. This is a thing, and I'm not knocking Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag is the right man for the job, and I think his philosophy and everything will take you further. The derby's done now. I don't need to slander no one, but the fact is, this is a Pep Guardiola system. Not in its first or second or third season in the Premier League, yeah. So all these little things you're talking about, you don't think Pep's mastered how to do. He's come against Klopp and Klopp's system. He's come against, to be fair, Tottenham. He's come against all these different styles of football that the Premier League can bring. So he knows it now. He's seasoned.
He's seen it all.
He's
He's
a
seen it all.
world-class manager, seasoned in this league. So it's like, I don't expect Ten Hag to come in first game and outsmart Pep.
Yeah.
But the problem is your fan base did. Your fan base
We're gonna
did.
have to, Dabs. We're gonna have to shift away from this game. And
Shift
we're gonna
away,
have to
bro.
go, we're gonna have to go on to the other derby, of course. Shout out to everyone who's been watching so far. They've been saying a lot of great things. I heard one person say they need Pep to sign a deal.
We do.
Anthony's goal today was good. That's
Don't
a really-
sign Pep, please. Please don't sign Pep, please.
That was a really good thing. Martin is so overhyped. I don't know about that.
I think he's a good. I think he's a
think-
good
I think
defender.
it's
Like,
one
also,
day
if I can,
miss him.
but the thing is that, and one thing that made me not like be able to, you know, when sometimes when you have a big loss, you want to look away and look at the bigger picture to make yourself feel a bit more comfortable. I had to do that today. Martinez, Malacia, at moments in the games, probably not Ericsson, but some of the signings that he likes and looks at, they look comfortable on the ball, and it looked like they were progressing the ball, and then as we'd lose it straight away, either in the midfield or in the attack. So if I was looking at it, I'm thinking in my head, get behind this manager. Give him what he wants.
100%,
These kind of
100%
things.
You should do.
It looks like he has an idea of the right type of players that he needs to progress.
Let me just stop it there. Let's just move it on to another.
Go ahead.
Egal,
Sorry, that was my
I'm
last one.
gonna Egal, salute. I'm gonna cut out now. But salute to everyone. Yeah, sorry, I've
Appreciate
had
you,
a
bro.
drained ass
Big up,
day.
big up, bro.
Love to everyone.
You had a long day.
Smash a
You
like.
had a long
Yeah.
day.
Big up,
I need
bro.
sleep,
Peace.
Love.
Enjoy it.
Appreciate you,
Now
bro.
we're gonna shift away and go into Nottm derby. Also, guys, don't forget to check out Dabs' channel, Never a Foul. The link is in the description, of course. But yeah, getting on to Nottm derby, boys and girls. I predicted. I don't know why I'm saying girls. Anyone who's watching is a female. This is for you. But of course, 3-1 Arsenal victory. I predicted this. Majority of
I did
Arsenal.
as well. Me and
Ron,
you.
you predicted this. A lot of us predicted that a 3-1 victory for Arsenal. I also said that Tottenham don't show up at North London derbies. And ladies and gentlemen, they did not show up. They did not show up. They
At the
never got-
Emirates.
At the Emirates, yes.
Yeah, at the Emirates.
What did I say?
You said they don't show up to North London derbies at all.
Okay, they don't show up.
Everyone's
They don't
signing.
show up to North London derbies at the Emirates, right? They came. They're physically there, and then they left. That was that's what happened. Kane gets his penalty. Always. It doesn't matter what happens. Every year, North London derby, Kane ends up getting a penalty. Tottenham didn't actually have to do anything the whole game to score. We gave them that penalty. It was silly from what do you call it, Gabriel. But I want to just point out some players. Thomas Partey, control of the midfield, stupendous. William Saliba, just how cool, calm, collective he is under pressure in the defense is ridiculous. When it comes to attacking third, I felt like the whole front three did really well. Plus Martinelli, but the main person I want to point out is Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka, from box to box, chipping in defensively, chipping in offensively, also helping us control over the game, his passing range, everything else. Granit Xhaka has been a revelation this season and has been playing really, really well. And he deserves all the plaudits that he's getting. His first man of the match at Arsenal in 7 years. on the big stage. That's crazy.
Decent day to get it. It's a decent day to get it.
There you go. And he's probably gonna get player of the month also. I'm just saying, I don't want to give Alan any smoke, because Alan is not the guy that I'm going to be giving the smoke to. I've given smoke to a lot of these.
I don't know if the chat is going to agree with that statement, but hey, we will.
No, but I can't lie.
The
I
smoke,
love all the Tottenham fans.
smoke,
He's
one
the most
second.
humble.
I have a name. The smoke goes to Patrick, who
Yeah.
made fun of Bukayo Saka,
George,
Partey, Xhaka.
George.
The smoke goes to George, who was telling me about Emerson Royale is going to pocket Martinelli. What?
Let me just say,
Yeah, we fucking did nothing.
To you. The smoke goes to Alex, Mr. Box Office himself, who said Oliver Skip is going to be a factor and he's going to be a future captain at his club. And he came on at the end. Also, to the Irish Gooner, to the Irish Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur fan, who said that they're going to be in a title race this season and this is a new Tottenham. My friend, we've seen the same old Tottenham, and we've seen
I take it back. I'm sorry, I didn't even know any of this happened.
We've seen Conte come out and say, end the game here, 70 minutes. We need a sub on 5 players to end the game as quick as possible. And to the final person, Dan, if you are watching this, you are welcome to come on anytime to speak to me, because you owe me the biggest apology. He came verbatim and said, this is going to be the day that we change everything. History will change. We will beat you guys in your ground and we will slap you in your ground. That's what he said to me. You know what happened? You came to our ground, we slapped your bottom and we told you leave. That's what it is. When you come to our house, it's the equivalent to Crystal Palace coming to Arsenal. If we lose, it's embarrassing.
You just listed like 7 people, bro. Like, that's crazy.
So this is, for me, I'll take smoke all day long because I'm a Spurs fan and we lost in the North London derby. I'll take smoke all day long. What I didn't do, what some Spurs fans done, is try to put Emerson Royale in the combined 11. That was never me. You know that, Egal. Hell no. Also, Son, I never tried to put him in there because he hasn't performed this season. So that wasn't me for that. Let's talk about the game. Controlling the midfield. This is my honest opinion because I'm a bit sad and I'll watch it back because I'm a Spurs fan and I just want to make sure that, because I've done a watch along, I want to make sure that my criticism is correct watching it back a second time. So again, Conte done what Conte does and he's sitting us in the way of like, we'll restrict people to long shots. So he gave up the ground, and where it's worked out previously, I did say on previous streams, if it doesn't work out, like, we're going to come unstuck. And it did, because Partey hit a banger, can't deny that. Top bins, great goal, and we're 1-0 down. When we then finally come out and play, not only did we get the penalty, but Ramsdale made a really good save from, was it Richarlison or was it Kane?
Yeah.
And then, like I said, in quick transition, on another day when Spurs were playing to the fullest ability and getting it done, we had 4 or 5 at times where we were going to be 1-on-1 with the keeper because of the transition we would have caught you out. Son twice, poor ball, Richarlison and Bentancur, like shit balls, and it never came to anything like that, and we wasted opportunities. On another day, Spurs are looking good in those situations. Didn't work, thing like that. So when you play the way Conte does, you have to take your chances, and we didn't do that. Then after halftime, we were probably, edging it towards halftime in the fact that we were on top before halftime. Then I don't know what happened at halftime. We came out and done exactly the same thing in the second half, sitting back. Saka cuts in, has a shot. Lloris does the one mistake this season that he's made all season, spills it out. Romero tries to pass back, absolute fucking mess. And it's 2-1. Still on the stream, I was comfortable, like saying no problem because I knew Spurs could get back into it. And then Emerson Royale, you absolute fucking joke impersonator of a footballer. Martinelli's going back to his goal on his touchline in his half, and you do that, get yourself sent off. And then before things can be done, you'll score the 3rd goal, game's done. Conte, I'm annoyed slightly the fact that he pulled players off after that. You consider the game, but with 9 games in this month, you got, chasing, a game that's gone when you've got another 8-9 games to come, when we've got a couple of injuries. I understand why he's done that, but I'm more pissed off of Royale. I'd never want to see him in the Spurs shirt again. Hugo Lloris has to hold his hands up with his mistake. Son again disappearing. He needs to be dropped again from this team. I don't give a shit. Score a hat-trick for Leicester. Spurs fans, getting all like, oh, he's back and all that. No, you're fucking not. Get off that pitch. For me, It was a game that we could have got a result from, but it just didn't work out for us on the day. Arsenal were a better team. And that's all I can say, really.
I want to ask a question, Alan, if that's all right. When I was watching you guys, it looked like I like watching games where there's two different ideologies going on. These guys, obviously, with the way that they were sustaining pressure, all this kind of stuff. You mentioned at the beginning, before Thomas Partey's goal, how you guys were just conceding long shots and closing up distances and spaces that we know Conte does this. We've known he always does this. What frustrated me from the perspective of Spurs is as soon as that goal went in, how incisive your transitions were and how good your team look. Are you frustrated with the manager with the way that he plays, in the feeling that it feels unsustainable? And if you were to play, how good you can look potentially? Is it frustrating?
It is to a certain extent. Obviously, when having Conte in, when Conte was signed as manager, I didn't expect him to come in and play Pep Guardiola football. You don't expect if Spurs fans believe that, then they're fucking idiots. Let's be honest. You know what you're going to get with Conte as a manager, and when it works really well. When it doesn't at all. You know, obviously like that. So yeah, I think we've got the players to be able to create a lot more and cause teams problems. But Conte likes to contain and then go from there, and just it did not work this game. Obviously, you allow Arsenal in the North London derby to gain the upper hand and all that. It's just one of them things where it's just going to come back and you're going to allow your rivals the upper hand. It means the stadium, the fans, and all that on side. It's just really annoying. For me, it was not good enough performance for, and I've also blamed on other my own.
I just need to do a quick commercial break.
Go on, Egal. Show us the graph.
Graphics with Egal. Let's do this. Anyways, we haven't done this in a while, people. So let's bring the graphics. The graphics back, people. The graphics have to make a special comeback today. We got yourselves a wonderful graphic here showing the expected attacking threat from Tottenham and Arsenal in this entire game. As you can see here, Alan, if you haven't already said it yourself, you guys really didn't offer anything going forward this whole entire game. And yes, maybe Antonio Conte thinks there was chances, but I think he's lying to himself, and he needs to go check, get his eyes checked or something. Because if you look at the actual attacking threat from this game, from minute 1 to minute 90, it looks like Arsenal controlled this game. We had all the chances. We scored 3 goals. Yes, you guys got a consolation penalty, but realistically, you didn't take too many shots on goal. We had 22 plus shots in this game. I think 9 on target. And I just wanted to show the utter dominance and how we outclassed Tottenham. This is not to make a dig at you. This is just to clarify the situation and what actually took place. Because there are certain people who are saying that the red card ended the game.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the game was done before.
It didn't help, but it did not change how.
North London derby. We've seen crazier things in the North London derby. When that happened, not only you're a goal down, you're 10 men down, and then very quickly we go 3-1 down before changes were made. So that's what ended it. There's a couple of Arsenal fans saying excuses. I'm telling it how it is. There's no excuses. What I will say for Arsenal fans, and obviously, like I said, when you played Man United, quick transition, counter-attacking, they caught your team out and your team looked all to see defensively. If our final ball had been better, we were in it and we were causing the same things. So obviously people like to look at games and be like, okay, so Spurs didn't win, Spurs didn't do anything like that. So every defender had an amazing game.
You want to read this comment?
This is them. He's obviously on my show and everything like that. Spurs should have bought Kane and Son on the pitch. I agree. Yeah, well, I'll give that. Kane did score, but there you go. So yeah, obviously you're saying because you won 3-1 that it was a personal thing like that. Again, I will say this again. I said it after Man United. I say it after this game, and I will say it against teams like Man City and all that. When you've got teams that counter-attack you quickly and you play such a high line, your defense is going to get caught out. It happened against Man United. It happened numerous times against us. Our final ball was shit. If our final ball was better, you would do stuff like that. your high line is going to cause you problems later on the season. If you can sort that out, then you're a real threat. And that's me coming from a Spurs fan. If you sort out your high line, and obviously that defense doesn't.
You know what's going to cause you problems all season?
What?
The lack of attacking threat throughout the 90 minutes. You don't impose yourself.
You say that, but since Conte has come in, I think if you look at the thing overall on points, third best team overall. So you say that if it comes up to a longer run, then that's fine.
It's effective, Alan, but I think it is fair to say that it's hard to sustain that level of play, and it goes back to the reason why when United, it's why I was happy United dodged the bullet with not getting Conte. In my opinion, personally, I think that works and it is results, and Conte gets you points. There's no doubt about that. He'll get you points. But you should not be playing against Nottingham Forest as if it's the Champions League final. Like, it shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't be closing distances and closing space like that. It doesn't make sense.
Factual stuff. Listen to this. I can't wait for Liverpool. It's going to be too tasty. Good. Man, I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna taste good. Definitely. But we're gonna get into Liverpool. It's not time yet. But I want Mojo. Mojo, is it time to finally start saying Saliba? He is the best young French centre back in the world.
Brother, I'm not here to talk about Arsenal, man. Don't make me talk about Arsenal. I'm just gonna sound like a hater, bro. Like literally, bro. Even when I have given you a lot of compliments, you lot don't want to listen. So there's no point. A Chelsea fan won't compliment Arsenal.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm not one of those people putting us in a title race. I've made it clear.
No. But what I'm saying is, in terms of just talking about football in general, I will try and speak about football in general with Arsenal fans. And then, like, you'll give 10 compliments, give one slight criticism or one slight thing that you're like, I want to see how they do with this. Guess what they say? Well, he's a Chelsea fan. Why is he talking about our club? He's hating. He's doing the. You know what? Never mind. Let's not talk about your club. I will talk about Spurs. Conte and Spurs are two things that I've spoken about at length to people before. Why? Conte has been at my club before. I have seen him do these tactics at my very own club. This guy has a game plan. Don't get me wrong. He'll try and get the team to play a certain way, and it's usually quite effective when it works. When it doesn't work, it is shit. It is one of the hardest and most painful things to endure as a fan. I felt so bad for any Spurs fan that was watching that game. They were suffocated. They couldn't create. Their only ways of creating, which was transitions, they were fucking them up themselves. And I was like, there is nothing for them to gain. Like, this is going to be the most painful 90 minutes that Spurs are going to have to endure for themselves. But was it coming is the real question. The answer is yes, guys. If you have been watching Spurs, even though that they've been winning games, you will have seen the patterns actually repeat themselves. There are teams that decided to give them the ball and say, you do something with the ball. Spurs struggled. There are teams that have said, you know what? We're going to actually do the opposite and we're going to suffocate you guys. Guess what? Spurs struggled. So Spurs are the team that, in my opinion, under
in
Conte,
both sides,
and go ahead, sorry, bro.
Go on. You finish your last.
The main thing is for me is this: he needs to change up what doesn't work. Emerson Royale has no fucking business playing for this team. I don't care how many goals he scores. It's like watching Alonso, but fucking worse. Somehow I have seen someone worse than Alonso, guys. And you lot have to understand how much I hated Alonso in my team.
Alonso's bad.
This one, brother, he's paying God knows how much money outside and to somebody out there to make him a better
from his own pocket.
Honestly, and it looks fucking tragic. He literally did one of the most stupidest things in the most stupid place on the pitch, and it made no fucking sense. All I can say is at the end of the day, Spurs need to address things properly. And the way to address it is you don't play Emerson Royale, you play Spence that you just bought that you know is an attacking threat and is somebody that you can build on for the future. However, when you have someone like Conte is a very stubborn man. This is one thing I'll say that to you. Like, he's very stubborn. When he has his trusty people, he's very hard-headed to the point that he doesn't want to give chances to other people. And honestly, that's going to be his downfall. And he may end up in Juve before we know it for another rebuild. But that's my end on the story. Arsenal, well done. You deserve it.
He's come out and said Jez Spence was a club signing. Cool. But for me, that could be to their detriment. Because I said to Alan 2-3 weeks ago, when Spurs are winning, it's fact. Whenever you're winning, things won't get scrutinized as much. But I said to Alan 2 weeks ago, do you feel this is sustainable? Because when it doesn't go right, it's all going to be like all hell breaks loose. And I've said Spurs are pragmatic, and I know this is Conte's playing style, but Spurs are pragmatic against the lesser teams when they don't even have to be. And like you said, Mojo, when they allow teams to have the ball, they struggle. And then when they actually want to play this counter-attacking football as well, they struggle. So it's like Conte has to kind of do something different. But as long as they keep winning, it will paper over the cracks, because that's what they have done this season a lot. Let's make no mistake. As much as it's not been pretty when you've watched Spurs, they are getting points on board. So.
And I think it'd be disingenuous of me if I didn't speak about Arsenal as well. I think there were a lot of good things to take. Xhaka, great performance. Saliba, great performance. Ben White has adopted this role so well that he's even overlapping now, which is crazy, showing a difference in this game.
Got an assist.
Go back, which I was very happy to see. I think there are gaps in Arsenal's team. Martinelli has been better than Saka in terms of the numbers this season. But performance-wise, I think a lot of Arsenal fans will highlight to you guys, Saka's been much more direct. And credit to Martinelli for adding the numbers to his performances, because you need that. Like, people can't. It's not just eye test or GA. You need both. You need to have a combination of both if you want to be a top winger. I think competition for places need to be there in those wing positions. I think there needs to be maybe a position like if Partey, and this is the only issue I was mentioning with Daps earlier. It looks like they have a solution for everything. Every squad issue, they have a solution for it. Arsenal want to go to that next level. I think they need a solution for more issues they have. Gabriel, giving that penalty away. It's an issue I've had with Gabriel before. Is that recklessness only an issue from time to time, or is it something that can't be coached out of him? These kind of things that Arsenal need to do to just get onto the next level, where it's like not just title challenges or top four.
You know what? Let me read this comment. Assad says, if Arsenal beat Liverpool next week, we'll take them serious. Okay, let's talk about Liverpool then. Liverpool just drew.
What a transition, by the way. Better than Spurs, that. Goodness me.
You used the comment, bro. Well done, man.
I had last one thing to say about Gabriel. We've been seeing this. Only reason why it's getting scrutinized now is because he's next to Saliba that is much better than him. But this is nothing new, Gabriel. Gabriel's doing this last season. That's why I'm not really criticizing him as much, because he's been doing this.
Hey. I was told last season Ben White. I was told last season Gabriel was our better centre back. But
we go on to Liverpool.
I'd like to see Ben White and Saliba.
Wait 1 second. Before we go on to Liverpool and talk about transit, like there was a transition coming, like about Spurs Where was Man United's transitions today? Don't come at me with Spurs transitions. And after Man United.
Did you see how you wiped the smile off my face, Alan?
Don't come.
Okay.
You
don't know how shameless Alan can be.
It was in the second half.
Congratulations, Man City gave up. You got 2 goals.
Listen, let's talk about transitions and let's get on to Liverpool now. When it comes to Liverpool, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I need to see Fabinho's passport or like his birth certificate, because I don't believe the guy is 28. Like, what the hell has happened to him? I don't know what's happened to him. I don't know what's happened to this Liverpool team. I get that you guys have injuries. I get that you guys have problems. But to make Trossard look like the second coming of Eden Hazard, it's kind of crazy. On top of that, when it comes to Liverpool, this whole season you guys have been poor, but it just doesn't seem like the break even helped you guys. You come back from the break, you can see 3 goals at home versus Brighton. Yes, you fought back and you ended up getting the draw. But let's be real. If Alisson didn't stand on his head and make save after save after save after save, this game could have ended like a ridiculous scoreline, like the Manchester United scoreline, where a Manchester City scoreline where it was 6-3 or something like that. Alisson saved you guys. The rest of your team was pretty poor. Besides Fabinho, besides Firmino and a couple key players here and there. But realistically, I just don't know what to say about this Liverpool team. They're just more and more showing me that they're no longer in a title race and they're strictly in a top 4 race this season. And there's no question about it at this point.
The thing is, I said on here 2-3 weeks ago, as a Liverpool fan, be worried, but the rival fan, as much as they would grid us and they'll goad us, will still say, yeah, but you were 2 games away from completing football, etc., etc. These problems have been brewing, and it's worrying times, because first I'll go into individuals, then I'll get onto Klopp, because Klopp is the main problem with this. But I'll go into individuals first, right? Alisson doesn't deserve this, because as you just alluded to, Gal, if we didn't have Alisson between the sticks, honestly, I doubt any of you watched the full 90. You may have. That would have ended up 7 and 8. We would have conceded.
It was that bad.
It was that bad. We were conceding chance after chance. There was only, I'd say, 10, 15 minutes where we had somewhat control of the game. Tsimikas at left back. What first bad thing which Klopp did, right? Tsimikas was providing us with. He then subs on Milner. That gives us nothing. And the thing is, I was angry at Milner at the start of the season, which my anger's not even directed at Milner anymore because he's a professional. If Klopp asks him to play, he's going to play. It's not like he's going to he's going to say to Klopp, I don't want to play. So it's more on Klopp. Trent Alexander-Arnold, do you know why it's so worrying for us? Because we know as fans, a back three now is what we need to revert to. But Klopp has never changed up his tactic. There's no evidence to suggest he's even going to do that because Trent Alexander-Arnold now, he's becoming a detriment to us. It's been a story all season. Me and Jerry did a tactic show, and most of our goals we can see down the right hand side. Fabio Carvalho, I'm one of his biggest advocates, but left side he's not explosive enough, and he doesn't suit that left side. He needs to be in maybe a 4-2-3-1, or he needs to be in the middle role. And that's another thing that City do very well. For players like him, he needs to be embedded. But I understand why Klopp did start him because we've been trying and failing a lot of things, and it's just not worked. But for me, most of the blame has to go on Klopp because even his comments after the game, Egal, we didn't know what Brighton would do. You are a manager. You have to prepare to what teams may do. It's worrying.
That was the worst excuse I've seen from him yet. But can we please address this? Man said Fabinho at the age of 18 looked like a Sudanese uncle. Do you guys see it?
That sound is funny, man.
Hey, it's criminal, bro. Criminal.
I'm not gonna lie. I see it. At the age of 18, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm shocked. How is Fabinho? Do you guys know how old Fabinho is? Fabinho's only
29.
Man's 28, bro.
I knew
29 this month.
He doesn't look great for 28.
Bro, how did I don't know, man. Maybe we shouldn't judge him off his appearance, but like he's not playing like a 28-year-old, bro. He should be in his prime.
Do you know what? I was defending him a lot this season, and then even me.
I wish he was defending as much. To be fair,
say that again.
I wish he was defending as much.
That was a good one, but I was blaming the personnel around him having to do other people's jobs, and then about 2-3 weeks ago, I just had to say to myself, and big up Aston because Aston was telling me. I just said to myself, you're just not playing well. You're just not playing well. And we've got a very incompetent midfield at the moment. You know what? We love him and he's been our best player. We look at a different team with him, but you have to call your players out sometimes. Thiago was average. At the weekend. He was playing hoofball and his passes were going into Rosette. He just wasn't the Thiago we know. And the thing is, this is one player I'm actually going to give a bit of credit. Salah's not been the Salah we know. In terms of GA, he's being asked to create. He's being asked to be a touchline winger, which isn't him. We want him nearer to the goals because we know get Salah near to the goals.
You agree with this comment, by the way, that Partey is better than Fabinho all around? Well, you're talking
right now. I'd have to say that, but I don't just go off last season. I'll go for a sustained period of time. But right now, I'm not stupid. He is. But Salah, for me, had one of his better games, and I know that might sound absurd. By the way, the assist, he didn't mean that. Some shameless Liverpool fans will say he meant that.
He meant that. He meant that. Allow him.
He didn't. He was joking. He didn't again. Because you saw before he came, he was looking at goal. If the touch was better, we know Salah would have shot. But it happened to go to Firmino. And to be fair, that finish is harder than what it looks like because he kind of had to dink it over two defenders. They were coming in quite quick. But you know what? I'm actually being disrespectful to Brighton. They implemented their game plan. They were excellent. Trossard, he didn't even just terrorize us this game. He did this last season as well. He scored in the
He's just a baller, full stop. He's just a baller, full stop.
Who here actually watched the game besides? Because I'm not gonna lie, I watched the highlights of Match of the Day. That's where I gave my synopsis from. I don't know, Mojo, you were at the Chelsea game, so you probably didn't watch it either.
No, I didn't get around to watching the full 90. Same as you, MLTD, man.
Before obviously, like carrying with this. I think that the FA should go down and test Brighton because something's going on there. Because this season they've lost Basuma and they've lost Cucurella, and they're still balling out. They then lose Graham Potter, who's been obviously like what he done with them, and they're still performing at that. They've got something in the water. They're doing something.
You know, it reminds you of Alan. Do you remember when
form like that away at Anfield as well, and they've done it all this season as well. Something's going on there. They need to be tested because Spurs are coming up against them next, and I'm actually worried to get more about Brighton than I am about most.
Nah, Spurs are gonna be fine.
Yeah, but yo, do you remember Southampton? Do you remember Southampton a couple of years ago where it looked like they were just continuously churning out talent, and then they had just continuous talent coming out. And Liverpool would take all of their talent and they'd still find some new don to just bring into the first 11.
Yeah.
It's a madness what they're doing right now. And their new gaffer looks like he wants to play that football as well.
No, yes.
I'm saying from now as well.
Graham Souness, eat your heart out. That's all I gotta say.
We're gonna out of our next 2 games, we're picking up 0 points. We're not even gonna get a draw. I'm saying it from now. City and Arsenal.
With Liverpool, it looks like there's a bigger issue though.
Yeah,
there's a bigger issue, Roms, with Liverpool, man. I feel like
just
Klopp
giving
missed
an
the
opinion.
boat. He missed the boat on refreshing this squad. Like I know a lot of people have
He's
already
missed
made
the
it.
boat for the last 3-4 summer windows.
And this is what I'm saying. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I know everyone's mentioned it about what Sir Alex used to do, and I know Sir Alex isn't necessarily something that'd be transferable to today's game. But all managers at some point, like Daps was saying it earlier, this isn't Pep's first time with his City team. This is his second, third, fourth iteration of his team, and that is what you have to consistently do, not to just be at the top. To stay at the top is what you have to do. You can't rely on going 2 years of no injuries the way you guys did, which was near miraculous.
Let's shift away from this game. But before we do that, Mojo, you have anything to say on this, Alan?
I've said all of that. Brighton should be tested. Simple as.
I'm gonna speak about what, and obviously had caught the attention of media and Liverpool fans were all talking about it. Let's talk about Trent, guys, because as much as people want to avoid this, they have put way too much attention on. Like Klopp should have never done what he did, in my opinion, because now it looks so much more worse when you watch the game and you've highlighted something and it fully got used against you, lot, bro.
As
Trent's
if it wasn't bad already. As if
it was so bad.
Yeah.
And the thing is, right, Trent offensively is a great player. I don't think a lot of us are going to be sat here saying he ain't, or he can't be creative, or he can't do anything, or he doesn't. None of us are stupid enough to say it. But Liverpool fans have got to admit this guy defensively sometimes is unfortunately shocking as hell.
Sometimes.
And because he is... No, it's all... I won't say all the time, because do you know what I think? When the system has the right players doing the right things, he doesn't get exposed as much defensively because the system and the players around him cover up for him correctly. But right now, individually, there are players that are all underperforming. The system cannot even cover you now.
The main
system is
player,
even failing to cover.
the main player, you're saying the system, and I agree with you, but the main player that helped Trent evolve these last 3-4 years is Hendo. Hendo now doesn't even have the legs. And now you've got Harvey Elliott that's incompetent, that's not defensively disciplined. And now you're seeing Trent being exposed due to not having the right personnel on that right centre midfield role to protect him.
My point is, I'm not saying he's defensively great. I'm saying he's now just being more regularly exposed than he's ever been. Because he is, go ahead, sorry, Gal.
He's no longer, in my opinion, a right back in the system that they
literally a guy.
He's no longer a right back. What he basically is in this system is a right midfielder who's being deployed as a right back. And it's not even a right wing back, because a right wing back has to have some defensive capabilities. I don't know if you guys seen this, but I've completely conceded. I was a Trent advocate. Reece James has overtaken Trent when it comes to overall, and the fact that he has a lot.
Can I just say one thing, please? So this Reece James and Trent thing needs to stop. I'll explain why I say this, right? Me as a Chelsea fan, when I get to watch Reece James, I swear to God, I do not think about Trent. I think of the fact that he can be defensively deployed in any way that we need him, whether that's at that right centre-back position or that right-back position. And if he's told, do defensive job, he will do the defensive job. If we tell him, no, be creative for us and we need you in a creative run, he does. As a player, guys, I will never complain about Reece James. And I can see he still has room to improve in certain aspects. And I'll always admit that. With Trent, I think for me, it's very obvious. You have to accept him for what he is and what he excels at. He excels at the creative part and the attacking part of the game. Defensively, and unfortunately, I don't think he's going to improve unless somebody puts so much time and effort into him like that. And right now, he looks shocking, bro.
The majority of our fans struggle to
Go ahead,
accept
sorry.
that. The majority, because I've said for years, James over Trent, even when we were winning the Champions League and Premier League, because I could just see this in Trent. You can deploy James in any system and he excels. Trent has to have a certain system catered for him to excel. I've said this for years, but majority of fan base, because he's Scouse and right back and he's completed football at the age 23, it's like you can't criticize him. But I agree.
It's not only just him though. Like, guess who else has fallen off?
No, Egal, stop.
Robertson.
Egal, stop.
Robertson. Let's talk about
Don't
Robertson.
do that. Don't do that.
Robertson.
Have some respect. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Robertson right now, let's be honest, right? Robertson right now is looking very bad as well. And the fact that Tsimikas is not being given enough starts.
But then who can you bench Trent for then, Mojo?
Exactly that. We don't have the
Trent is a different story. I'm not even going to try.
But I'm saying Robertson, you're right. Robertson is an issue, but they have Tsimikas. They have Tsimikas, another option.
No, I get that.
Trent
bro.
doesn't perform.
I'm not saying that they don't have. They have an option. They don't have.
They
an
have
option.
Calvin Ramsey.
What I'm saying is,
Who?
We signed him with the injury. Then he had growing problems. Now he's in the 20.
Who the fuck is that guy? Calvin Hill? Who?
All right.
Calvin Ramsey.
Just to finalize my point, right?
Yeah,
I think obviously Trent has been shocking, and we can call it out. But I think Robertson has been just as shocking, if not worse, and he's not being called out, and he's very lucky.
People.
I think Trent, for me, Robertson has been just as shocking because he's just been as crucial for you lot, and I think he's been getting worse. And the fact of the matter is, people are calling for his head as well, but no one really speaks about it. We just keep saying, the same guy, Trent.
Tactically, if you're telling me Salah's a touchline winger now, defensively, what's he doing if he's a touchline winger? Is he on the right centre back or left centre back? Is that what he's pressing? Yeah. Is that what he's doing? First. All right, sorry, go on.
Let's shift away from this game now because we're already past an hour and we haven't even gotten.
That flew by.
Yeah, it's gone like so quick. But yeah, we're gonna talk about this Crystal Palace Chelsea game. I'm not gonna lie. I put the wrong scoreline down. I put 2-1 Crystal Palace. It was 2-1 Chelsea.
How dare you? Is that what you wanted, bro? Tell me the truth. Man. Go ahead.
No. I genuinely predicted a 2-1 Chelsea win, and I said it was going to be an ugly win. Rum is here; he can vouch for me. I knew you guys were going to have this kind of game. Let's be real. Graham Potter hasn't been given enough time to embed anything or to actually work enough with these guys to have the understanding between what the players want, what he wants from the players, right, or what the players should be doing. But hey, you guys got the result. You got what you wanted to. You got the W at the end of the day. But I just want to know a little bit about this situation with the VAR. What happened here? In what scenario did Thiago Silva think he was a goalkeeper outside of the box? What was going on in this situation?
So, my brother, and do you know what happened beforehand, or are we just going to skip over that?
I understand that this subsequently didn't matter because prior to that he was fouled, right?
Correct. That's why they didn't give it. But I generally think he was still lucky. Any other day, this could have gone the other way around, guys. I'm not going to lie to you lot. There's no way I generally thought he was getting sent off. I prepared myself for the worst. I was surprised that he wasn't sent off. And they put on some music whilst the VAR decision was happening. They said VAR, and then they put some sort of background music. I hope that never happens in grants again, because what the fuck was that shit? But otherwise, honestly speaking, I genuinely felt like defensively, we're still a very, very sus team. Whether we play 5 at the back or 4 at the back, guys, I don't know why people like to simplify things about Chelsea in terms of like, and I'm talking more to our fan base right now, where they try to simplify things, saying we will play better football just simply because we go to 4 at the back. Doesn't guarantee it. Our players are doing still the same madness that we shouldn't be seeing when they play in the 5 at the back, and they're more comfortable than when they're 4 at the back, where you have no flipping leg room. There's nobody extra to cover your mistake. Literally, you will pay for it straight away. And we did. Palace took the lead. Palace deserved to take the lead. They took their first chance. And honestly speaking, they were much better at basically understanding what sort of game they needed to have. They let us have the ball. They pressed us effectively, and they created on transitions, which was working very, very well until we equalized. And I felt like by the time the first half ended, I felt like we were getting our grips back into the game. And second half, it felt like it was just going to be a draw. I'm not going to lie to nobody. We had chances, but we kept on effing up in the same manner that we've always done. And then Conor Gallagher gets brought on. and then something just magic happens out of nowhere. I can't lie to you, lot. If you go to football matches, I pray that you one day you get to watch your team score a late winner, because the scenes
Yeah,
are
nothing
always
better.
absolutely ballistic. Like it
Limbs,
was
limbs.
so crazy, man. And but
And
honestly, we
Mojo
were lucky.
did his yellow card after the VAR when they decided he got fouled before. Did the yellow card get rescinded or did it get taken
And
away? The yellow card for Thiago Silva?
nah, like literally, they didn't even go for the foul, bro. They just said it's the yellow card stance. It's not like an obvious thing for them to overturn or change.
Okay, so they just
Which
believed it was a yellow
I
card, handball, move on.
correct,
He might have gotten
and
away with that then. If they believed it was a handball, then he
think
might
we
have
got
gotten
away
away
with that. If you ask me, we definitely got away with that one.
So obviously, I've not heard anything. I've seen the clip. I've never known what happened beforehand. So if he got fouled beforehand, people saying they got robbed. Sorry, no. If he got fouled beforehand, doesn't count.
You still got lucky though.
I don't care. There was something that happened a couple of seasons back when VAR was first in, and something happened. And I said the same thing about a certain, in regards to a Spurs player. They got fouled and something shouldn't have counted against us, but it did. I'm going to keep the same energy. If he got fouled beforehand, I don't give a shit that he handballed it. He got fouled. Should have been. It wouldn't have got sent off or anything like that.
It could have easily gone against us, brother. Honestly, I was surprised. I can't lie to you.
I mean, that's when I understand if referees another way, but people going, "Oh, Palace got robbed," and it should have been no. If he got fouled beforehand,
it's because he assisted, isn't it? It's Alan. It's because literally that decision happens. Moments later, brother, he assists. Like he literally heads the ball over to Aubameyang, who scores. So people
You know
were
what?
pissed.
Aubameyang keeps his record going. Every single club that he's played at, his full debut or his full league debut, he scored. So he's kept it going.
Yeah, that's good. We were singing at that way and saying, "How shit must we be? Our number 9 scored." That's what we were singing at that way.
Wallahi, that's hilarious.
Oh, can I just quickly ask Mo? I can't remember whether you were or not, but there was a lot of Chelsea fans that were like, Conor Gallagher, shit for Chelsea, not going to make it, all of that. What were you all saying when he scored the winner to get you 3 points? Is there a lot of people changing?
Great question.
And just to let you know, and the side that I sit on, if you just go check my Twitter, I'm not even going to do nothing. You'll see what side I was on. I was on the right side. I'm never going to cuss out my player, bro. If he has a hard time, I'll tell him it's a hard time, but you're going to get through this. I'm glad that he scored a winner because I do think he'll do very well for his confidence. The ones that wrote him off and said we should have sold him and everything, I can't lie, man. Pie to your face, in it. It's your fault.
Did he celebrate?
No, he didn't. Out of respect to them.
Respect. Okay, I'm just gonna ask: did anybody else have anything to say on this? Because I just quickly want to talk about Bruno Lage and some of the other topics before we go.
Let's move on.
Bruno Lage got sacked, people. When the hell did he get sacked?
Bro, it happened early today.
I think it was during the Villa and Leeds game.
Can't believe that was a second billing on Super Sunday, exactly. But I don't know how we didn't get that bullying thing. Anyways,
another manager who people said was better than Arteta has been sacked. I'm happy.
Man, them was saying that he's better than Arteta.
Bro, every manager was considered better than Arteta.
Yeah, that's when you guys were going for a dark winter.
Wait.
Very dark winter.
Like the Wolverhampton manager.
Yeah, people said Ollie's better than Arteta. People said Lampard's better. Frank Lampard. They said Gerrard's better. They said Moyes is better. Every single manager.
Why did he make this about Arsenal? I thought we were talking about the manager that just lost.
Yeah,
his
so
job,
did I.
man.
It's crazy. Yeah,
it's crazy. He can't feed his family, bro. Why are we doing this?
I can't help it. There's narratives that you guys don't know about that I have to educate you on. And one of the narratives is Wolves' manager Bruno Lage was doing impressive things. And he's better than our manager, and Nuno was better than Arteta. Every manager is better than Arteta based on some people's books. But anyways.
So Bruno Lage leaving, not Arteta. So that's what we're talking about. Bruno Lage leaving Wolverhampton. It's crazy.
But for me, they're down the bottom of the table. And expect how Rodgers is still not sacked. He must have nudes on the entire Leicester hierarchy. I just want to come back. You must do. I want to come back to there's a helicopter school who keeps putting in really weird. He keeps getting ignored in the comments because he's just not bringing anything relative. You're on about your most recent one about the hair pull against Cucurella. That was like what 5-6 weeks ago. What are you still going on about that for? Get over it. I said it should have been, and we should have lost. You're acting weird in the comments. Just what are you doing? Get a life. It's really is.
No, but with him leaving, I think the Leicester thing I can understand more. It's like it's a family cup kind of thing, and he's won the FA Cup with them. And I remember I was actually at that game.
Oh no,
I was
man.
working at that game, and I saw the connection between him. I saw the connection between him and the owners. I was not surprised at all that there's a reason that he's been given chance after chance. The Bruno Lage one. I remember there was a time where Wolves fans thought he played good football for a while after Nuno came in. Then there was a low dip for him when they started not getting results. It just shows nowadays that the Premier League is becoming, as it is such a money-run business right now. The results are so important for these managers right now. So it's tough for Bruno Lage, man.
I think
he'll find the job in Portugal or something now.
100%. I think that it was very harsh. Personally, if you ask me,
he already had a job in Portugal.
Who's going to be the next Portuguese manager to come into Wolves? That's very hard.
Grab Marco Silva off Fulham or something. Wouldn't be surprised.
Listen,
the thing is, right? This Wolverhampton team has changed quite significantly. Like, they're not necessarily the same team. And the biggest thing you have to understand is if you're signing Diego Costa as a free agent, I think that speaks volumes about what the issue of the club is. I don't think it was necessarily the manager. Raul Jimenez, since the injury, has not been the same. And it's an obvious problem. Like, they have a striker problem. They need to sign a good striker that can actually put chances away for them. And I think they are very difficult to play against. And he was part of the reason why.
They did sign a shot. I think Caddy. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but then he done his ACL. It was very unfortunate. So they did try, but I think it was a bit too premature. I understand what Abs is saying. Football's a results business, and the things, if you watch Wolves games, they're very fluent. Play a very attractive brand of football. But if you don't get rid of the results, that's all the owners care about at the end of the day. So I still think it was harsh. That maybe at least giving them another 2-3 weeks at least.
Okay, and just to end it off, guys, we got quick fire rounds. I know, did anyone have anything to say about the Leeds, Aston Villa, Brentford, Bournemouth, Southampton, Everton, or Fulham, Newcastle games? Because I want to speak about
Newcastle. Yeah.
Newcastle.
They're looking serious, man.
I think Newcastle are going to get 7th.
Well, guys, no. Okay. So in regards to that whole thing, let's context. Fulham were down to 10 men really early. Let's not stuff like that. Before that, Newcastle drawn 5 of 7 games or whatever it was. Yeah. So let's not move too crazy.
It's the style of play. It's the fact that when they're playing against the lesser teams, I could see them really having a lot of joy, a lot more often.
So
and that's exactly that was my point exactly. And I see them going against the smaller teams and doing the kind of stuff that they did. I think the points wise, obviously you have to look at it. The feel good factor wasn't really looking the same on the table. But if you look at it at the end of the season, coming away with some points against some of the best teams in the league is going to look better later on in the season. I don't think they're going to get 7th personally. I think that's maybe a bit too soon for them. I'm not even sure if Eddie Howe is going to be the guy that they want to take them on further. And I think they're planning bigger things. And it's just the first round of it. I think they've got some quality players. I like the look of Bruno Guimaraes a lot. And I just think the thing I think with Newcastle is that I expected them to win this game and they went out and they did a job. Yes, there is the context of the loss of a man on the opposition for Fulham. But Fulham are also a team that I've liked watching this season as well. So I think that was a big one.
I know it's very early. But that Almiron goal is contender for goal of the season already.
Joke.
Already.
Joke.
You're not going to see
think he meant it, guys.
Finishes.
What? Did he mean it?
He
meant that easily, bro. He flicked his left foot out before Emerson.
I can't lie to you. In my eyes, he didn't mean it, man. It happened.
What did he mean to do? What did he mean to do?
Yo, guys.
No. I don't think he meant for it to happen the way it did, bro. I can't lie.
He meant that shot on target and he went top bins.
That goal sent shockwaves in my house. My wife has him in her fantasy team. She's whooping everyone in my family's ass this week.
What, Almiron?
Yeah, she has Almiron. She's had Haaland from the beginning and captain him every single week. It's mad, bro.
Wallahi, I should have triple captain.
I had to captain Haaland against my team today. Goodness me.
You
Yeah,
had
you
to.
know when it comes to FPL, sentiment gets pushed to the side.
It
I've
has
taken
to.
up
It's
for
just
my
this
Liverpool
has to.
players,
Like,
Yeah.
facts.
Look, we got to speak about Mojo's beloved Frank Lampard, and they have to be taken seriously now. What are
The
we
boss,
saying?
How did I forget about this?
the boss.
Bravo.
Talk on it, Mojo.
Bravo.
Talk on it, bro. Talk on it.
Where do we begin, bro? Frank
It will be.
Lampard and
It will be.
Everton.
It will be.
We don't have to begin. I'm joking.
Bravo. They're doing big things.
Again with it will be.
First of all, why am I going to begin with the former Arsenal player? Let's start where we need to start. The goal scorer, Connor Cody, the one that just got loaned out from Wolverhampton, who's out here basically pretty much doing a defensive duty for Everton. I actually think he's been a big player for them. Surprisingly enough, he feels way more assured than some of the other defenders that they've had to deal with. So defensively, they look a lot more assured. And I feel like right now they're starting to play a little bit more like a team rather than a team that plays towards individuals. And it was interesting in this last game because they didn't have Anthony Gordon as well. So I wanted to see what that would be like for them. They seem to handle it really well, honestly. And I'm surprised so far because I generally thought they were going to struggle a lot more before we saw anything bright coming out of this team. But so far, so good. They're 11th place. They're on 10 points, 0 goal difference. Hey, Frank Lampard's doing a good job so far, man. And we're going to talk about Villa
soon for Chelsea.
Huh?
Sack too soon for Chelsea.
No. I'm sorry, man.
Okay. I'm just gonna say
I didn't want him sacked for a whole different reason, but it was the right call. I can see it was the right call.
He was never a winger. He was always that deeper role. That 8/10 role suits him.
Why
better.
didn't Wenger see that?
Bro, Una Emery tried to do that. Wenger played him as a winger because he already had so many midfielders at the time. He had Ozil, he had Santi Cazorla.
Okay, fair enough. Better players.
Assad, who do you support?
What?
The guy in the comments, Assad, who does he support? Do we know?
He's Chelsea. He's
one of your boys. He's one of your boys.
Brother. Assad, what's wrong with you, bro? He's a
Mojo
legend of our
Park,
club. I've got to be passionate for him.
It's because he's
These
legend.
lot are ready to
The
cook him
greatest
every
player
week.
ever
I have to
played
be his
football.
biggest fan.
Facts.
It has to be done, man. I thought he was the Man City fan for a
Mustafa
minute.
saying the 40 million is looking like a steal now.
You know what? They can keep him for the 40 million. I'm happy.
So he's not this deep lying playmaker 8 that's so important. Or else you'd have him over Shaka, you mug.
Listen. When he went to Everton, his first season, he was supposed to get 15 plus assists. He didn't even break 4. So it's fair. Anyways, that's it for today. The other games, I'm not gonna lie. Brentford, Bournemouth, boring draw. Leeds, Aston Villa, boring draw. Leicester, Nottingham Forest on Monday. You guys have any hopes for that game?
I got Madison in my FPL team.
Come on, Nottingham. Come on, Forest. Brendan Rodgers needs to get fired, bro. I don't care.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Forest win. He's got nudes on people. He's got receipt. He's got something. He's not getting sacked.
They just have a good relationship, man.
Kiss my heart. No. He's got something on them. He's got something on him.
Not everyone has Levy as their owner, bro. Some people have some nice owners, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
Hold on. I hate Daniel Levy and I hate our owners and all that. But you're telling me nice owners will keep Rodgers there till they get relegated? Really? Come on. I know you're.
I saw it at the FA Cup. They were hugging each other like they were family.
Exactly.
Yo, people, we're gonna leave you with this. It's gonna be a very silly question. Very, very silly question. How many players on form from Liverpool's team get into Arsenal's team?
Yeah, you are basically something else, Egal. I just want to let you know.
I told you already.
No, Mojo. This is based on form. It's not based on quality of the player. It's based on form. And if 8 games is not a big enough sample size for you, you don't have to answer.
Free.
2. Who's your free man?
Luis Diaz, Matip, and Alisson.
No, not Diaz, bro. You're disrespecting. I can't lie. You're disrespecting Martinelli.
Listen, I like Martinelli a lot, but Luis Diaz is direct ×2, and also doesn't have the issue that Martinelli has with his head down continuously.
Yeah, one thing I will say, I rate Martinelli, but he doesn't really have much control within his dribble.
He'll get there, and he's improving at a crazy alarming rate. I didn't think he'd get here where he's at now.
Let's see if Mojo buckles and gives us an answer. What do you say, Mojo?
You know what? Because you've already doubted me, man. I ain't giving you shit, man. I'm giving you nothing. You've already doubted me, man. I don't care.
I'm just gonna say this. At this moment in time, if you go based on form, I generally think you could maybe put 2 Liverpool players in a combined 11 with Arsenal based on form.
It's who I said to you earlier, Gal, innit?
I think it's Alisson and Matip. I agree.
Yeah, big first.
That's
But
it.
you know what? When I do my
Best in the land right now. You're allowed to say that, bro. You're best in the land right now.
when I do my combined 11 on
this
TikTok,
isn't me answering, but I agree in it.
Okay. What about Alan?
Let's be honest, we're asking about this. Who's seen enough Liverpool games, all 8, to say who's going to get in and out? Who's seen all 8 games?
Oh, 8 games? No chance.
Exactly.
Rome.
I can go based on what I've seen. I would have Alisson in there over Ramsdale.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a long day.
Wow.
Long day for Liverpool. Like.
Is that frozen screen or?
Thiago don't get in. For the people saying Thiago right now, availability is key. Availability is an aspect, and Thiago.
But what about Partey? Partey's played 5 games.
But Partey's been better in the games he has played than Thiago has been. I'm just being honest.
And Xhaka's been better than Thiago.
Exactly.
Xhaka's been the best midfielder out of both teams. Anyways, we gotta end this here before my laptop dies.
Agreed.
You already know
Big up
it.
the chat, big up, man. Big up you guys, man.
Yo,
God bless,
honestly,
God bless.
Busquets, amazing debut. Thank you for coming.
Appreciate it, man. Nah, it's good. It's good talking football with footballing men. There's nothing better, man.
There you go.
Time flew by. It didn't feel like
I wanted to troll you so bad, bro. I couldn't though.
Have a good one, people. We're out of here.
Chelsea.
None of that on this channel, bro. Stop it.
You and I.